Welcome, everybody, to Unity Community of Central Oregon. Let's start by saying our mission statement together. We are a vibrant, welcoming, multi-generational, prosperous community, embodying love and awakening spiritual consciousness. We are so glad that you are here. Whoever you are, however you are showing up in the world, we welcome you because this is a welcoming community. And we're so happy to see all of you online from wherever you are in the world, and all of you who are sitting in these seats in photograph form. It makes the room feel fuller. So thank you for being here in whatever form you are. And let's have some chants. Soul shine.
Listen to the still small voice, the still small voice. Listen to the still small voice, the still small voice of love. Listen to the still small voice, the still small voice. Listen to the still small voice, the still small voice of love. Listen to the still small voice, the still small voice. Listen to the still small voice, the still small voice of love. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Let's open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. 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 To see your love lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see.
Let's open the eyes, everybody. Come on, sing out.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
Sing out one more time. Open the eyes.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. 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 I want to see you.
Thank you, Soul Shine. That's always so beautiful and just gets me in feeling in tune. Excuse me. Sorry. I was wondering how I was going to mess things up today. So now I've got that out of the way. And we are moving into the wild for celebrations. So let's turn it over to the jungle.
Well, hello there, everyone. Guess what I'm celebrating today? Can you guess? Earth Day. Earth Day is this week. Not George of the Jungle, Dave, no. Oh, Jumanji. Dave was wondering if I was doing the Jumanji thing, which I guess it couldn't. But so I just gathered up whatever animals and plants and flowers and my bear costume and some little butterflies on my cheek. Those aren't weird moles growing, but... So we have some amazing celebrations in addition to Earth Day, this coming up this week. Let's see what we got. Well, actually, we had 3 people who were kind of on the same page as I was today. Janelle and Heather and Jim all had celebrations saying, I just want to celebrate nature and the break that the earth is getting right now with humans having to kind of quarantine themselves a little bit more, and springtime and people digging in the dirt and just reconnecting with the earth. So that was super awesome to hear. Let's see, Carol Rossio has a job interview, her second job interview. So let's all send beautiful prayers to Carol that she will have the perfect interview and this will be potentially the perfect job for her. Tamara's son had to have an emergency appendectomy, and he is healing and doing wonderfully, so she says thank you for all of those prayers that everyone has been sending her, so yay, we're glad to hear that. And then Blaze, again, our wonderful 4-year-old member, he always has an awesome celebration, and his celebration is that he's just enjoying being at home with his family. Yay! And are you being good, Blaze? Are you being a good helper? We hope so. So, and then we have Eric. Eric had a special celebration he wants to share. So he'll start with that and I'll finish up.
I just want to celebrate, yeah, another day of living. No, I do, but that's not what I was cleaning out my inbox as I am one. Well, actually, I don't do it very often, and this is a perfect testament as to. I found a message from July of 2014 from Jane. This is about the power of prayer, is what I'm celebrating. And Zeke had been injured when shortly after we started coming to Unity, and Jane as a prayer in an email. And if you would do the honors, Claire.
I will read that. So here was Jane's email to Eric. Eric, please pause and focus with me on the light that is Zeke. God's perfection and love in furry form. There can be nothing in him that is anything less than wholeness and vibrant life. We deny any illusion of illness and claim his truth as well. We see him at your side as you sing your songs and walk through the world. He is happy and healthy. No other option. We give thanks to God for his healthy expression. And so it is.
And what struck me about that was, when I read that, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it now, but I, keep it together, not doing this. I realized that prayer is still being answered. He is almost 10, and he is, like, when his back went out, within a day of starting the meds, he was a puppy again, and that never went away. It wasn't like, oh, I'm a puppy while I take the meds, and now I'm not on the meds anymore, and I'm going back to being older. I mean, he has pretty much stayed the same this whole time through various injuries, and I'm not saying, and Jane did it, but but it's prayer, man. It works, and I was struck by that, so I just want to celebrate the power of prayer. So there we go.
To our time of prayer. We really are a praying community, and we love to pray. Those of us who are on the prayer team, it's such an honor when we get to pray with you. I was thinking the other day that at some point when I'm ready to ease into retirement, maybe in 10 or 20 years, I'm not sure about that, but I was thinking how wonderful it would be to be part of Silent Unity and just get to pray all the time. I know that Reverend Jill is actually retired, and it's her passion in life just to get to pray. It's so wonderful. And in the past, when everyone was here, we just had piles and piles of those green prayer claim forms, and we had our chaplains that were lined up here, and people were coming and getting prayer. And now that we're virtual, we haven't been
Check, check. Do you got it?
We're back. Okay. Well, we stopped and prayed that this would work. So I guess it does work. So please, if you haven't done it yet, you can see the prayer claim form there. You just click on that and fill out a prayer claim now, and it will go to us, and we'll be able to pray with you. So I'm going to just give a few minutes of pause here so that you can do that. And now let's just gather up all of those prayer claims that you have filled out. And we hold them virtually in this circle. And we know that whether you are praying for comfort or faith, whether you are praying for renewed love or patience or healing or prosperity, whatever your prayer is, as we bundle it together in this virtual basket of love and faith, we claim that these higher thoughts are the truth. The circumstances that are in front of us are an illusion. We have the power as creator And when we are all gathered together, virtually or in the room, when we gather together and we hold this truth that the light is manifesting, that all is well, this thought has power. Let's take that into song now and claim it musically.
Be still and know I am. Let go and know I
Let's say together, love is our ultimate reality, everywhere present and whole. It radiates abundantly and continually creates good in my life and in the world. As we gratefully acknowledge the presence and power of love now, we see the people and circumstances we hold in prayer healed and illumined by love, and so it is. And now let's move into meditation. And today we're going to activate the happiness chakra. We're going to step out of time and just be in happiness. So the happiness chakra is your second chakra. And you can find it by finding your navel and 3 fingers below it. Just put your hand there. And your job is to make your hand rise as you breathe. So sometimes we breathe and we just breathe into our chests. But what we want to do is breathe all the way down here. And then let it go. And imagine that as you are breathing in there, you are activating your ability to desire, to feel pleasure, to be happy in this now moment. You're letting go of anything that is not now, and you're just focusing on the happiness that is wired within you. And just to help you with your thoughts, if you want, you can use a counting system where you count from 1 to 4 as you inhale, and then you pause for the count of 2, and then you exhale completely to the count of 4, and you pause for the count of 2, and you continue. So if you find that helpful, just do that in your own rhythm. And we'll do this for about 3 minutes, which is short in clock time, but long when you are focused on the now. And now just gently bring your attention back and notice your level of happiness. Notice your level of calm in your body. And just consider the possibility that you could take little breathers like this throughout your day. Let yourself wonder how your life might be if you just paused to breathe in this way and activate your happiness chakra. If you do this time after time after time, we could change the world one breath at a time.
Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you, caught up in circles. Confusion is nothing new. Flashback, warm nights, almost left behind. Suitcase of memories. Time after sometimes you picture me. I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling to me. I can't hear what you've said. Then you say, go slow. I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will get you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will get you. I will be waiting. Time after time. After my picture fades and darkness has turned to gray, watching through windows, you're wondering if I'm okay. Secrets stolen from deep inside. The drum beats out of time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. Time after time. You say go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time.
As I was listening to that, I was thinking about who are you singing to? And I feel like, well, there could be many interpretations, but I was thinking about the divine, our higher self, the biggest part of us who is always waiting there to catch us. And we get running so fast that in a way it seems like it can't catch up with us, which is, of course, an illusion because it's always there, it's who we are. But our task is for us to slow down, for us to think about time in a different way so that we can really be in a space where we are connected with our own divinity, because it changes everything. That's how we find our creative spark. It's how we find our happiness. It's how we find our ability to create everything that is. It's where we find our wisdom. And we need all of this all the time, and especially we need it now. I wonder if you have noticed since you've been on time out, have you noticed a different experience of time? Does it seem like there's more space? I think for so many of us, I know that some of you are still working, and I know that some of you are still working and taking care of your children who are needing extra right now because their whole world has been shattered and they're too young to really understand what's going on. The part that they like is that mom and dad are around more, right? But if you're working, you're not necessarily completely around, and they don't understand that because there you are. So I know that you're still juggling time. But maybe there's a little bit of space. I've been doing a lot of walking with my husband, and one of the things that gives me such great joy is to see dads out playing with their children. They're riding bikes together, they're doing projects in the yard, they're whatever it is they're doing, but they're spending time with their children. And that's something that, generally speaking, dads have not had as many opportunities for. And moms that have been working and are not working now, they are also having more opportunities. And this part is a good thing. This is a silver lining to all of this that we're going through. But it also gives us an opportunity to examine what are we doing with our time. And when this passes, because we know it will pass eventually, and what will our world look like on the other side, we don't know that. But we get to consider the question of time. How do we want to use our time? What are the assumptions that our busyness has been built on that we might want to question? What are the things that we've had to let go of that we might not want to pick back up? I was listening to a talk and reading a book by a man named Dr. Pedram Shoje. He has a book called The Urban Monk. And he's somebody who studied martial arts, and he studied in Tibet, and he did all this monk kind of stuff. And then he came back to the United States, and there he was immersed in the middle of our society, the way we typically do our society. And he realized that all of these techniques that he had learned were designed for monks who lived in a cave somewhere or a monastery, who didn't have a life as we know it, who were not householders, as he calls it. And so we beat ourselves up ever since we have learned about yoga and meditation and all the things that those monks do in their seclusion. We've told ourselves, oh, here's another thing for our list that we need to be doing. And we beat ourselves up because we are not doing them enough. And we make ourselves pretty crazy with that. So what he says is that we can't adopt that lifestyle. It is not our lifestyle. What we need to do is find a way to tend the garden of our lives in a way that makes sense for us, that gives us greater peace. And the number one thing that he recommends is be in the present. Stop multitasking. I know this is hard. As someone who has done it a lot, it's one of the addictions that we need to release and to be present with just one thing. He talks about how we sit there with our computers, and I have to say, I am totally guilty of this, with so many windows open. And we hear these ping, ping as messages come in, and it is doing a number on our adrenaline because it's like, oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? I've got to attend to that, as opposed to just be present with what I am doing. He talks about our vitality, which is at the center, because if we do not have vitality, we have nothing. So our vitality is dependent on our sleep, on our diet, on our exercise, and on our mindset. None of those are optional. But we have often lived like they are. He talks about how we need to schedule. Your schedule is your friend. So one of the things that I've noticed, I'm still working a lot, but I have used my schedule to be working pretty intensively in the morning and early afternoon, and sometimes in the evening if I have a class or a meeting. But in the afternoon, I have made that time sacred to go out walking with my husband. And so we're out walking for 2 hours at least, sometimes 3 hours in the afternoon, which is, I never did that. I've been counting my steps, and because that just makes it more fun. It puts a little bit of competition in there with myself mainly, although Jeff gets more steps because his stride is shorter. But it's still, I'm looking at my average number of steps per week. I've tripled this last week from what I normally did, like all year long. So it's a huge change. And when this goes back, I don't want to stop that. I want to keep that as something that is a part of my life because it's important. I've made changes in my diet that work for me better. And it's one small change: stop eating gluten. And that's hard because that's what I'm addicted to, but I've just stopped. And so as I eliminate that, I feel better. I'm eating way more vegetables, way more salads. So these are simple things that you can do. They may not be simple because you don't necessarily like them. There are times when I look longingly at, a muffin or something, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to stick with what is working for my body because I want vitality. And then there's your mind, your sleep, for example. How well do you sleep? And if you don't sleep well, what is off in your system? So it may be that you're going through changes of life, like if you're in perimenopause, oh my gosh, it's the worst for sleep time. But it usually has something to do with your hormones being off. And you can get that amended if you talk with your doctor about it. you also are affected in your sleep by, were you drinking a bunch? Were you playing on your computer right up until the time you rolled into bed? Are you sitting in bed watching horror shows? You know, what is your bedtime routine? There are ways, known ways, that you can improve your sleep, and you can find them out. And then there's mindset, which is what we focus on more at Unity, having this positive attitude, focusing on what we believe in, and realizing that the circumstances are not our Lord and Master. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord, we sang at the beginning. Lord means that to which we give our authority. It might be the circumstances. It might be the news reports on the coronavirus. That may be where you are giving your authority, but it doesn't have to be, and I recommend that it not be. Because there is a higher reality, and if we tune into that, if we tune into the knowing that all the fears of scarcity that are flying around with all of this, all the fears about death, these are based in circumstance. And what is true on the higher plane is that there is enough, always enough, because abundance is the nature of the divine. And the divine is the one presence and the one power. It's all that there is in reality. Not in appearance, but in reality. And so if we hold that knowing in our mind, it calms everything down. As we look at the garden of our life, like any garden, there isn't just one thing in the garden. We have many varieties that are in the garden. And so in our garden, we need to have our health, and we need to be scheduling. What are we doing to take care of our health? And we have our family. It's important to spend time and connect with our family. And that doesn't just mean you're in the same room, damn it. It means you are connecting one-on-one with your family, caring about what their needs are, caring about what their ideas are, connecting with them. If they're not in the same room with you, pick up the phone and call them. But family is important. Community is important. Whether it's Unity community, our greater Central Oregon community, the community of planet Earth. What are we doing to serve our community? How are we engaging in our community? These are important questions, and they're not optional. Friends are part of this community, but they're a little bit closer. What are we doing with friends? Do we have friends? Do we take them for granted? Do we put energy into them? We can't have a lot of friends and treat them really well, because usually we don't have time for that. And we have to be careful with how we allocate our time. And then there's hobbies, passions, the things that just make us so happy when we do them. This is a wonderful time, especially for those of you who are not working right now and have extra time to indulge in passions. I was talking to one of our members this weekend. She said she's painting. She's never done that before, but she's trying it out. What have you always wanted to try out? Are you doing that? Photography? Eric? Huh. I remember, this is a long, long time ago, when I moved from Maine to Houston, and I was changing careers in the process. I had been a teacher all my life as an adult, and now I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I had the idea that I had to have a resume in order to get any kind of job. And my sister-in-law was going to make me a resume, but it was taking her a long time, and I knew nothing about resumes. So I had the idea that I had to wait for her to do it because she was professional at it. And so I waited, and here I am in this new place. I'd moved down there with a boyfriend, and I didn't have a job, and we lived in an apartment, and there was a pool, and there was a whole big city of Houston that I could have explored. You know what I did? Nothing. I sat around waiting for this resume that I thought was my key to getting a job. I did nothing in a month because I had made the Lord of my existence this resume. And in the end, I ended up getting a job at a place where they didn't need a resume. That was the irony of it. I wasted all that time when I could have been doing so many things. What are we doing with this time that we are given now? There are some passions that we have that to everything there is a season, and we don't get to do them all at the same time. When we have small children running around, we're probably going to have to let some things go that we will get to do at a later point in our lives, and that's okay. But just acknowledging that to everything there is a season, and we have to think about when will we do them, or is there a little slice of it that we could do now? Find a way to bring some balance into your life. And then, of course, there's your spiritual life. What are we doing with that? You could be reading books, you can be meditating, you can be praying, you can be taking classes. You can just sit and be, look out the window. Know that there is something more. But realize that the garden of your life requires all of these elements. It's okay right now that you are having a lot of feelings. That's part of the wholeness of you. And there are situations that are happening that intensify these feelings. But if you ground yourself in the present, there will be more peace. When I hear reports on the news about the coronavirus and how many have died and how many are projected to die, and there are all these projections about how many people will get it and when will it come back, and that just increases anxiety. It is unknown and truly unknowable. People have ideas about it, but nobody knows for sure. What we know is in this moment, right now, we're probably okay. If you're listening to this, right in this moment, you are okay. And this moment is the only one you have. At some point, you will die. What will the cause be? We don't know. When will it be? We don't know. No expiration date stamped on our arms. All we know is that right now, in this moment, we are alive. Look around you right now and just find 5 beautiful things, 5 things to be grateful for. Just do it right now. Isn't it easy to find Isn't it easy? What if you set your watch? Take this theme of time, and every time that your watch dings, you look around you and find something to be grateful for. What if you used gratitude like pepper and you sprinkled it through your life? It's important how we use our time. It's important that we tend these gardens of our lives well. Mary Oliver's famous poem, "What will you do with your one wild and precious life?" Be intentional. There's so many distractions coming at us. I know when I'm going through my email, I often get breaking news. The royal family just found out, ... Yeah, I know. Something terrible. Oh no, what now? And the temptation is to click on that email and find out what has happened to the royal family. Really and truly, is this on the list of what's important in your life? And if you've ever done it, and I'm pretty sure that I must get those because one time I did do it, then it doesn't just give you an answer like, oh, this happened to this member of the royal family. No, you've got to go through a whole series of pictures and keep clicking, and you have gone into some wormhole that you do not want to be in. All because you were curious about something that they have paparazzi for. If something of monumental consequence has happened to the royal family, there will probably be a headline about it. You will probably find out. I remember back in the day when I had no newspapers or television in my house and wasn't paying attention to news, except, here and there I'd hear something. I was at a camp and I walked in an off hour through the dining hall, and they had a television on there, and on the screen I saw the Berlin Wall was coming down. And so the important news of the day I found out just by walking through the dining hall to get a cup of tea. We don't have to be chasing all of these details. We can be focusing on the things that are truly important, that keep our wheel of vitality going, that benefit the people that are important to us, that allow us to care for our beautiful planet. Let's be intentional. So this week, really remind ourselves that there is a season, and we are the architects of that season. Namaste.
Do everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to soar. A time for love, a time to hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. I love that song. Takes me back to another time, which incidentally is sort of a nice little technique. You can think about other times in your life where time stood still, maybe, and you can just regenerate yourself by going back to those times. I think about a time when my grandson was born and I got to be there, and he and my parents, his parents and I were all vying for who got to hold the baby. And when I got a turn, I remember just sitting there worshiping at this temple of the baby. And it was so beautiful. Time just stood still, and I didn't want it to end. And if you have memories like that, you can go back. That's a form of meditation that is very regenerative for you. So this is our time of giving and blessing, and I'd like to share some ways that we are giving at Unity Community. One is that we are streaming live, not only in the Facebook group, but we are streaming live on YouTube. We are streaming live on our website, on something called Twitch. So anyway, tell your friends that because some people don't want to be on Facebook, and now they can join us in other ways. We have a free Earth Day Film Festival beginning this week, and you can find all the details online at Facebook. I'm starting a Unity Basics class/spirit group. It's kind of a combo, and it isn't too late to get in. If more people want to do it, I'll just split it into 2 groups, but it's starting tomorrow night, so let me know if you want to be part of it. You can just bendunity@gmail.com. You can get the information to me. Reverend Robin is going to be doing a prayer training this Friday, so we talk about the power of prayer, and it's not quite the way that you may have done it in your upbringing. So there's just a few things about it that are very powerful, and it's this Friday at 10 a.m. You can sign up online. Also, we are adopting as a community. We are adopting Fox Hollow Assisted Living Center. This is something that was started by Nativity Lutheran Church, and one of the members there got this idea, wouldn't it be great if the churches in the area adopted the different assisted living places where there are nurses and staff who are helping the elderly who are confined to these places. They are part of the first responders. And so we are going to be adopting Fox Hollow. And what I would like to encourage you to do is, number one, pray. Pray for the residents, pray for the staff that is caring for them. If you are inclined, especially all of you children out there, or if the children aren't watching, then the adults who have children, make cards for them. Thank them for the work that they are doing. But all of us could do that. And then maybe sometime when this is all over, we can have some kind of a party, or we can brainstorm what would be a nice thing to do for these folks. But number one is prayer, and then cards. And just send them. You can find the address easily and just mail them so they get this onslaught of mail from us. We are going to be in a Zoom lobby right after our service today. So the link is right in the description where you're watching. So all you have to do is click on that and you'll join us and get to see your friends. So, and one last announcement. This really was a celebration, and we slipped it. But Evelyn Thedford had her 11th birthday, and I want to celebrate not only Evelyn but her parents, who were so creative with this. They had a drive-by birthday party for her, and people came by, and Evelyn was sitting in the bed of her truck, her father's truck, and on sort of a throne, and people came by, and we shot paper airplanes at her with birthday messages on it, and some people brought flowers or cards or just waved. Some people had banners. It was really fun, and I think that this time is giving us an opportunity to be more creative. So there's an idea. If you have a child who's having a birthday coming up, you might try what they did. Here's our time to give, and you can text right where you are, 541-204-2345. You can go online to unitycentraloregon.com, and you can click donate. You can mail to the post office, P.O. Box 7558, Bend, Oregon 97708. You want to do this if you believe that spiritual nourishment is how we will get through this. You want to do this if you want to invest your energy in raising the consciousness of our planet. This is an organization that is dedicated to that, to embodying love and awakening spiritual consciousness. And if you want your energy, and that's what money is, to go toward that, then this is your chance. Please step into the flow. Do not tell yourself that you're not going to have any money by fall. Tell yourself, I have. Even if you only give $1, tell yourself, I have money to share. And if you have plenty of money flowing, share plenty. It's important that we put our money where our belief is, because otherwise we're hypocrites. We want to see our world seeded with light. And this is our chance. And some of you have asked, are we doing okay? Because truthfully, we didn't know when we went into this seclusion what would happen to us financially. And the answer is yes. Yes, we are. We are doing fine. Our money has continued to flow, in some cases even greater than it was. And we are so grateful to all of you that you believe in the importance of this community and you are willing to support it. So thank you so much. We are so blessed. Let's just affirm that together. So blessed, I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And we bless the offerings that are coming in virtually. From the love of pure spirit within us, we bless these gifts. We send them forth to heal, bless, and prosper. They are evidence of our faith and belief. They do good work in this world and return to us multiplied abundantly, and so it is. And let's say the prayer of protection. Let's say it all together. The words are up there, everybody knows it. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love of God. The power of God protects me. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence of God. Wherever God is, because I am.
If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you've called, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will